Welcome to Things You Don't Know. June 1 is the beginning of Pride Month. Pride Month is celebrated every June to commemorate the Stonewall riots that occurred in 1969 in New York City, which marked the beginning of the modern LGBTQIA plus rights movement. During this month, people around the world come together to celebrate and support the LGBTQIA plus community, raise awareness about the LGBTQIA rights, and advocate for greater equality and inclusion. While I'm not a member of that community and I cannot speak for them, I am an ally and will speak in their defense.
I am also an ally. Many events and activities take place during Pride Month, including parades, marches, rallies, concerts, and festivals. These events provide opportunities for people to show their support for the LGBTQIA plus community and to celebrate diversity, inclusivity, and acceptance. Pride Month is also a time to reflect on the progress that has been made in the fight for LGBTQIA plus rights and to recognize the ongoing challenges that the community faces. Despite significant progress in recent years, LGBTQIA plus people still face discrimination, harassment, and violence in many parts of the world. Overall, Pride Month is an important time to celebrate and support the LGBTQIA plus community.
It's a mouthful to say that LGBTQIA community, isn't it? Anyhow, while some progress has been made, there's still much to be done. I want to give a special shout out to members of the LGBTQIA plus community in Russia, where they are officially being hunted. And the penalty can include all the way up to death. Russia has a long history of extreme prejudice dating back hundreds of years, at least back to the time of Tchaikovsky, who was gay, a fact hidden by Russian officials only because of his contributions to the modernization and recognition of Russian music worldwide. He actually started a school with a couple of other musicians, which taught Western composition and theory. So when it suits them, they cover it up. Interesting, huh?
Unfortunately, prejudice against the LGBTQIA plus community is still extremely prevalent in Russia. The country has a history of anti-gay laws and policies, and members of the community face discrimination, harassment, possible death, and violence in many aspects of their lives. In 2013, Russia passed a law banning what it called propaganda of non-traditional sexual relations to minors, which effectively criminalizes any public support or advocacy for LGBTQIA plus rights. This law has been used to justify the persecution of LGBTQIA plus individuals and organizations and has contributed to a culture of homophobia and transphobia in the country.
Wow. It sounds almost like DeSantis copied that law for Florida. Oh, wow.
There have been reports of violent attacks against LGBTQIA plus people in Russia, including beatings, torture, and murder. Many individuals within that community feel unsafe and are forced to hide their identity to avoid discrimination and violence due to the quasi-theocratic nature of the Putin regime and its alliance with fundamentalist elements in the Orthodox Church. Overall, the LGBTQIA plus community in Russia faces significant challenges and discrimination. And there's still much work to be done promote equality and acceptance for all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
In my opinion, and I'm stating that clearly, this is my opinion, it is a severe indictment of governments and politicians who hold extremist views, whether they are dictators like Kim Jong un, radicals who attack my capital, or governors that burn books and foster "don't say gay" or other Hitler lookalikes in this country, that they show and act on their fear and prejudice. Again, it is my opinion that people who act in such crazy and often violent ways are very insecure about their own sexuality. Befriending the Putins and Uns goes hand in hand with rape and other inhumanity and violence, in my opinion.
Here is an irony here. Marxist regimes not being religious, at least in the beginning, used to be tolerant, but North Korea, which is known for its very oppressive regime, has a strict control over the lives of its citizens. Unfortunately, this control extends to the LGBTQIA plus community, which faces significant prejudice and discrimination in the country. Homosexuality is illegal in North Korea, and individuals who are perceived as LGBTQIA plus may face arrest, imprisonment, and even execution. It is one of their stereotypes that the dear successor, Kim Jong un, possesses the power, among many other crazy things, to cure that. There is little information about the experiences of LGBTQIA plus individuals within North Korea, as the regime tightly controls access to information and restricts freedom of expression. However, reports suggest that LGBTQIA plus people are forced to keep their identities hidden and may face harassment and violence from both the government and society as a whole. It is also believed that the regime uses homophobia as a means of promoting its Juche ideology and maintaining control over the population. Anyone wanting more information on this should read B.R. Meyer's books, The Cleanest Race and the Juche Myth. He's the leading expert on North Korean ideology. Despite the challenges faced by the LGBTQIA plus community in North Korea, there are some signs of progress. In recent years, there have been reports of small underground networks, LGBTQIA plus individuals who are working to support each other and promote greater acceptance within North Korean society.
We have a one or probably two-part, maybe even longer than that, I don't know for sure, until we actually start writing it and getting it, series of podcasts upcoming during Pride Month. In those, we will explore the issues we have mentioned and a whole lot more. We conducted original research. Dr. Deneen, my absolute gratitude to you for the work you did with that too, by the way. As I say, we conducted original research into these issues that are faced by the LGBTQIA community and getting their feedback on their opinions and the struggles they have had. We did this by circulating a survey we designed. Yes, we made a whole survey in conjunction with some advice from some members of the LGBTQIA community. I am pleased and flattered that so many in that community trusted me enough to respond with real information. The surveys are anonymous, and we will absolutely protect the privacy of those contributors. I think you will be surprised at some of the responses. It is a challenging bit of research because the experience of individuals within that community are, well, very individual and highly variable. Their experiences vary individually. Their situations vary individually. So, of course, their responses to any surveys are going to vary individually. One quick word before we go. We're not trying to convert anyone. Despite the myths circulating several years ago, like in the 50s, 60s, etc., the LGBTQ plus community is not interested in trying to convert anyone. They just want to live in peace and security. The goal here is to promote peace, acceptance, and some understanding. Please think about joining us as we share this very important series. Accept yourself and allow others to freely accept themselves without fear. It's not that they made a choice to have the feelings they have any more than it is a choice for you to be attracted to whatever and whomever you are.
That's quite correct, folks. And may I say that although I'm not a member of that community either, I know what it's like to be stereotyped, limited, criticized, put into a box.
Mm-hmm.
So I would wish nothing but the fullest of fulfillment for anyone in the LGBTQIA plus community.
You know, Dr. Nadine, you're so right in saying that. And those of us who care about our country, those of us who care about getting the best, not just for the rich white males, we need to stand up. This is the time. It is now. It's not sometime later. What's that saying, Dr. Neen, about they came for this group and
Oh, it's the saying of the great anti-Nazi resistor Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a clergyman. It starts, they came for the communists, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade union, the disabled, and on through 8 or 9 variants. And then he finally says, and then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me.
please, folks, please, let's not allow that to happen. This is my country. I am a patriot, and I know most of you are too. And for God's sakes, let's come together. We can do this in a peaceful, reasonable way. I know we can. I believe. I do believe.
So do I.
It's a hard struggle. We can do this. We can do this. Anyhow, please tune in. I'm going to let you go for now, and I hope your day goes well. And gosh, do the usual things. Click a like, drop us a line, especially if you have something that you think we need to cover for Pride Month. Put it in the comments. We will pay attention. We do read it. We really love hearing from you. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.
Goodbye.